just all these big life-changing type things. People go through massive amounts of stress, but some of the things that cause people the most stress are anything to do with big financial decisions, which, by the way, is the reason that realtors, or at least good ones, will always have jobs, because people are always going to want someone to help them through the process. And it's not going to just be somebody located in Seattle or whatever. It's going to be a real worthy, skilled real estate agent that's going to basically be helping them through that process. So along those lines, when you're actually, thinking about whether you're going to be relevant or not going forward, that's essentially the assurance that you won't ever have anything to worry about. So keeping yourself to the point where, you are going to be the agent that people are going to use. So
that was point number 10.
That was point number 10. I thought I was just reading it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, so let me finish that out. It is the biggest, most serious transaction most people have ever done. The tendency is to freak out and come unglued, not to become a meditative, calm Buddha. Be there for your clients, even if they're driving you crazy. They're stressed. Have some compassion. You don't know what else is happening in their life, right? Somebody said on Clubhouse this morning, he's somebody that door knocks and calls, that he has realized that he's got to hear a certain amount of no's before he hears a yes, and that the same person that was a little grumpy with him today, if he calls him tomorrow, could be completely fine. It's just that today, maybe his pet hamster died. You don't know what's going on in people's lives.
I remember that. I forget what his little saying was, but essentially it's never no. And this is what you tell yourself in your mind, right? It's not no. It's just no, not right now. That's all it is. So if you hear the word no, it's not, straight up no. And try not to take it personal. I know as you're getting more efficient at being a proactive lead generator, a no feels personal. And by the way, it always feels slightly personal. And that's okay if it feels slightly personal, because then it'll cause you to be introspective and get better at your craft. But just remind yourself, it's never really no. It's just no, not right now. And here's a little funny fact too. As you're essentially learning to be a proactive lead generator, and you call, let's say, for example, and all of you who've been proactively lead generating for a while, you know this, you may have called a old expired, and then a month later, where the first month they told you absolutely not interested in selling it, we're going to keep it forever. And then maybe a month later, and they said, you say, well, I'll give you a call back sometime in the future and just check in with you. And they say, fine. And then you call them back later. They don't even remember they talked to you the first time. No. So that just goes to show that it's absolutely not personal. People are just, going through life and worrying about what's next on their agendas, not necessarily worrying about your feelings and your emotions. But here's the thing the point I was trying to make before. The whole toxic people thing, what weak salespeople will do is they'll then start blaming the customer for essentially acting irrational, whereas the reality of it is what's causing you, the agent, stress is your inability to deal with the customer as they're acting irrational. Acting irrational is the customer's entitlement. They're allowed to act a little quote-unquote toxic, but what you're not allowed to do is basically write that person off because of the fact that you don't have yet the skill set mentally and emotionally and psychologically, frankly, to deal with that person's stress. It's part of the job is dealing with their stress. So if you find yourself only attracting,